going like ongoing conversations with people just from that, from showing up every day, just from like doing those simple things in my own warm market that I didn't even
Yes.
have before.
Amen, sister. I would love it if you would, in the team page, share that, even if you just write it,
Okay.
because people need to hear it. They think like, I think they think I'm making it up, that consistency really is the secret sauce. I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it. You just have to keep showing up. And if like invites, yes, you have to do them. Otherwise people won't know that you're even capable of, they're even capable of joining you. But showing up will make them reach out and ask what you're doing, and then open up the
Right.
door for the invite, you know?
Right.
I've got one girl right now who just messaged me when I came on my computer. Probably she saw me pop up as active or whatever. And I've been talking back and forth with her forever. And she just gave me her email address so I can put it in and figure out what the price will be with tax and shipping for her. And I'm like, this is someone who actually, I think she used to be a coach under a different team, and she stopped coaching, and now she's coming to me. And I think it's just because I keep showing up, and it's just opened up the door for the conversations. So
yeah, I'll post that. I'm making myself a note because
that would be
I'll
awesome.
probably forget when we get off the call tonight, but I'll
The
do it.
more people share in the team page and they don't just think Lindsay knows what she's doing, everybody can figure this out, the better. That's my opinion.
Mommy?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I made a presentation for tonight. Lordy, lordy, don't judge this desktop. What in the world do I have open here? Okay. Okay. So tonight's call is all about being more than a coach. So I got this idea, because way back in the day, Erica and I ran a free group for moms called More Than a Mom. And it made me realize, I'm sure if you're a mom or if you're a teacher, or like, I think we kind of can, as women, we can kind of lose our identity in whatever it is that we take a lot of pride in doing. And so it may be more being a mom, it may be being a coach, it may be being a teacher, it may be being a nurse or a doctor or whatever it is that you are. We kind of find our identity there. Like, how many times have I had someone come up to me and say, "Oh, you're Carson's mom"? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Lindsay." You know, like I love being Carson's mom. Love that role. But it took me like pretty much hitting rock bottom in my relationship to 3 years ago to realize that I had to be more than Carson's mom in order to have good mental health and emotional health. And I think in order for us to not get so lost or forget why we do what we do, and for us to remain consistent and excited about our business, we have to remember that we're more than a coach. We have to remember why we started. We have to remember what our journey means to us. And then we have to be able to share those things with people, because if we just consider ourselves a health and fitness coach, people are going to lose interest in us real quick. I'm sorry. If you're just a teacher and you have nothing else going for you, yeah, you're going to have some teacher friends, but chances are they're not going to be calling you up on Friday night to see if you want to go hang out, because you're just a teacher, right? So we need to show up as more than a coach on our social media so that people see us as more than a coach. And we need to see ourselves as more than a coach. It is so easy to think that we're supposed to put ourselves in this niche when we're coaches and we're on social media, because a lot of us are on social media to promote our business. But if that's all we're doing, people are just going to keep scrolling because they can see that and they don't want to be a part of that. I mean, think about when you walk into Bath and Body Works. I always use Bath and Body Works because I used to work there. And we were literally taught, when someone walks in the door, you go up to them and you say, "What can I help you with?" And when they say, "Oh, I'm just looking," you direct them to something. And you don't just direct them to something, you direct them, especially if they were male. We actually targeted males for this. We told them, Well, if you're going to buy the lotion, you should buy the matching shower gel because when you use them together, the set lasts longer and women really like that. And if you're going to get the shower gel, then you should get one of these poofs too. And you should make this little package. And is that not what we can do if we forget that we're more than a coach when we're working our business? It's so easy sometimes to think we have to push the challenge pack. We have to do this. We have to do that. And it's sometimes we got to take that step back and realize this person doesn't need that. This person doesn't need me to try to be the coach that gives them the total solution or the coach that's trying to hit Success Club. This person needs me to be a human being looking at another human being who's struggling, to be the mom who remembers what it's like to want 10 freaking minutes to yourself, or the mom who's sick and tired of making 3 meals a day for every single member of the family and wants a shake because it's easier, kind of thing. It's important for us to remember that. So we're going to play a little game called Guess Who. This is going to be a little bit of a game. People are on, people are not on. It doesn't matter if the person is on or not, or if you are the person. What I'm going to do is I want you to think about what makes you tick, what makes you special. If we're playing a game of Guess Who, what clues would you give? So if I said to you, make me a card with 5 things about you, none of them can say, she's a coach, right? Because duh, we're all coaches. That clue would not help us in any which way. If I asked you to make a little card and give me those clues, what would you give me? So let's play a game. I'm going to give you clues about someone on our team, and I want you to guess who you think I'm talking about. None of the clues are going to involve being a coach. Here's the first one. I have 3 clues for this person. Grandmother, loves the outdoors, honeybees. Unmute yourself and tell me who you think it is.
Feathers.
Yes.
I'm like trying to frantically get to the chat.
All right, here's another one. This person I have 5 clues for. Girl mom, PE teacher, constantly hyping women up and like mom power, like just super empowering when it comes to female or moms. A volleyball star back in the day, and a high school coach. So it might be a little bit harder. This one recently became a girl mom for the 2nd time, so hasn't been.
Is it Caitlin?
Yes.
Yay! I didn't know she was a PE teacher. I just knew she was a teacher.
Yep. That's
okay,
right.
Awesome.
All right. This one, oh my gosh, I almost said the person's name. All right, this one I have 4 clues for. Hairdresser, newlywed, race car wife, and a pro at meal prep.
I don't know any hairdressers. I didn't.
Also used to work at Orange Theory, if that helps. I didn't add that one in there because it's kind of going along with being a coach. So.
Okay, so I can't come up with the name. I'm like drawing a blank, but I do remember reading through like posts on the team page, something about Orange Theory with somebody. I can't remember who though.
So that one is Kayla Harville. And I think one of the coolest things that she can share is, I don't know if she still does, but they were living in an RV at one point because of the race car life. And she was doing meal prep in an RV, which was super cool to watch. But I also think being a race car wife is a pretty cool thing, and a hairdresser, especially right now. All right, this one I have 4 clues for. She's a teacher. She's a boy mom. She's also a bonus mom, and she has a new home.
Christy.
Yes.
I feel like I'm like, sorry if anybody else wants to answer.
I'm glad you're participating. All right, here's this one. Single mom, teacher, new homeowner, DIYer, anxiety warrior.
Is that you?
Yeah. And my last one. New homeowner, front lines worker, boy mom, and Homesteader.
Sarah.
Yes. So I wanted to show you that because I literally made this. I think I made this Friday. I got my whole presentation done Friday. And it was so easy for me to sit down and list these things about these people because they do a really good job sharing them. And obviously mine was easy because I'm me. But they show up as more than a coach. So I wanted to point that out. And I want to show you some other examples. So this is, in my opinion, what you need to do is you need to pick what's important to you. You don't need, we used to be taught that we needed to focus on sharing fitness, and our social media needed to be streamlined, and we needed to make sure that we had one focus, and that one focus was why people came to our social media account. That's not, I've never done it that way. And I'm not top coach, so maybe I'm wrong. But even when you look at the top coaches' social media, they're not doing it that way either. And I really think we shot ourselves in the foot when we started teaching that and trying to accomplish that. Now, I'm not going to say that doesn't mean you might want your social media to look all a similar color frame or color scheme, whatever it is, or use the same filter on all your pictures. That's great. Clearly right here, Rachel Baldwin has done that. But I circled up top the things that are obviously really important to her, because these are the things that are stories or highlights on her Instagram. So Pink Lily is a boutique that she apparently adores. And she may be an ambassador for them. I don't know. Skincare is something she talks about a lot. This girl loves makeup. She does like the fake eyelashes. She does it all. It would be really stupid of me to try to talk about makeup because I don't wear any ever. So that would be a bad choice for me to do. Books are something that I think I'm going to start talking about more. Just tonight, Ricky's sister gave me 3 books to read. So, and I've been trading books with my girlfriends during quarantine. So that's something, yeah, we can talk about that. I don't know what the codes are. That might be like some kind of discount thing she does with one of her, connections or ambassador programs or something. She links to her TikTok and then uploads her TikTok videos here. She also talks a lot about recipes. I really like Rachel Baldwin because she's pretty real and down to earth. She's a mom of 2 and she used to be a teacher. So I really relate to her. That's why I kind of gravitated toward her when I was making this presentation. So the questions I would ask myself when I'm thinking about what's important to me is, what do you like? Like literally, what do you like? I like the kind of tea that I'm drinking, so I should probably talk about it. It's from Trader Joe's, right? What do you use? Don't talk about things you don't use. And I'm not just talking about Beachbody products. Like I use wall pops in my DIY things. I use a certain brand of paint in my DIY. I use everything but the bagel seasoning on pretty much every kind of food I make. Those are things I should be talking about. What do you listen to? What kind of music makes you tick? What podcasts are you listening to? What TV shows do you watch? What do you wear? And maybe, like I just shared the other day that I feel sexiest in gym shorts. I always have. Like pulling on a pair of short soccer shorts. I used to roll my soccer shorts because I wanted them shorter. Like I love some little gym shorts. Ricky's making really inappropriate comments back there, so I hope you can't hear him. But that makes me feel sexy. Yeah, I love dresses. I love getting ready once in a while. But when I'm home all day, every day, I see some girls on Instagram that are like, I did my hair and makeup today because it makes me feel better. And I'm like, shoot, I washed it 2 days ago, so I'm wearing a baseball cap. Like, that's just not who I am. So I'm going to talk about what I wear. What do you eat? Maybe there's something you love. Like I always get a lot of questions about the meal I made tonight. It's super easy. It's chicken drumsticks in the crock pot. They're amazing. My family devours them, even the kids, especially the kids. And chicken drumsticks are like 99 cents a pound. So I share that. What do you drink? The tea that I'm drinking. And that could be, that literally could be like your favorite alcohol drink. Like when I'm on TikTok, I see Ashley Molstead and Rachel Baldwin and people like that sharing like skinny ways to make their favorite cocktail, or just sharing their favorite cocktail, like taking a Truly lemonade and putting in some vodka and adding some fruit and making it a frozen thing to drink at the pool kind of thing. And that blew my mind when I saw that the first time. I was like, oh yeah, that's happening. But these are things that get people to connect with you. They're like, oh, that looks really yummy. I'm going to follow this girl because I want to see what else she makes. And what do you do all day? Guys, so much of our day is not spent coaching or working out, okay? What do you do all day? Come on now. Like, just think about it. What do you do? There's no reason for you to talk about fitness all day long. We don't do fitness all day long. And if you're selling it like you work out for more than 30 minutes a day, stop it, because nobody's got time for that, okay? Not even in quarantine. All right. So these are just a few examples of what Rachel Baldwin, her handle, and by the way, I'm not telling you to go follow her. She's obviously a coach already, so it would not necessarily benefit your business. And if you play the comparison game, it may not be a good choice to follow her anyway. I actually unfollowed her for a while because I started to feel like, well, dang, I'm a teacher. Why am I still in the classroom? Why can't I be home with my kids like she is? So I had to unfollow her for a while. But since I've gotten to know her and gotten to talk to her one-on-one, I feel like I can, in a healthy way for my business and for me, see what she's doing so that I can get inspiration. So in this picture, she's got her daughter in the picture, and she has made a margarita. It was Cinco de Mayo, I think. So these are some of the things that when I was just scrolling through her Instagram, I noticed. By the way, I looked at her Facebook, and her Facebook is completely different than her Instagram. She clearly focuses on Instagram for her business building. Facebook is a lot of like shout outs for her team and things like that. So keep that in mind too. But she talks a lot about her favorite boutique, her daily routine, her skincare regimen, books she's read, music she listens to, recipes that she goes to in a pinch, how she moms, how she wifes. Rachel Hollis has been talking a lot about how she's dating her husband at home, and I think that's really cool. A lot of coaches talk about their deals, steals, and bargains, shows that they watch, what makes them laugh, what makes them cry, and what pisses them off. Like, it's okay to get a little bit controversial, because like, I'm not saying go on Facebook right now and talk about whether or not you think COVID-19 is real. Okay. I really don't think that would be a wise choice. I probably wouldn't talk about Donald Trump or any of those things. I mean, if that's your jam and you love conflict, not my cup of tea, go for it. But I do think like it's important to talk about the things that piss you off, because there's other people out there that feel the same way. And there's other people out there that feel differently, and you can connect with them too. And maybe learn something from them, and they can learn something from you, as long as it's like constructive conversation. But I think, you know, one of the ways that we connect with people is like, it really pisses me off when someone says that they like, when someone presents themselves to eat and drink whatever they want all the time, but they've got a six pack. That's not real life, okay? And when I see that, it makes me believe I can live my life like that way. And then I look at the scale and I'm 6 pounds heavier in 2 or 3 weeks, because I've been living my life like that, thinking I'm going to still maintain my fitness and my bod. Not happening. But one thing I really thought that really caught my eye about this picture in particular is clearly she is showcasing the drink in this picture. But when you look at the caption, it says, "I'm not a margarita girl, but I thought no better time to try out a DIY recipe. It actually turned out so good. Speaking of late, Scott asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day, which is in 4 days. So I think he meant, what do I want from Amazon? Do you tell your hubs or get surprised?" So the caption has a little bit to do with the picture, but more to do with engagement. Do you do this or do you do that, is what she's asking. She's asking for people to answer her. Does she care necessarily what they do? Maybe not, but it's going to spark a conversation so that she can connect with them and start talking to them, and then maybe say, so what are you asking for? What do you like on Amazon? Kind of thing. The picture is not just a selfie with the drink. It's her with some of the ingredients out on her counter and her child next to her. And what I really like is, if you look behind her, you can actually see her child's toy behind her, which means this was probably not a posed picture. Yes, she's looking at her, they're smiling, it's beautiful, great lighting, right? But it's also showing that there's real life happening in the background. I took a video of Laurel tonight. It was adorable. And I noticed in the background a sink completely full of dishes. You know why? Because the dishwasher is completely full of clean dishes, because I have cooked 3 meals a day every damn day for like the last 15 days in a row. And so the sink is always full because the dishwasher is always full and it's always running. So I can't put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher because I just cooked and then got no place to put them while the dishwasher's cleaning the dirty dishes from the day before. I think many people can relate right now. Let people see that. It does not need to be some curated highlight reel. Get real with yourself. You're more than a coach. You're more than an influencer or a social media networker or whatever it is, you know, people are being paid to call themselves these days. You're more than that. Let people see that. All right, here's a bunch of examples of people that I follow on Instagram. Only one of them is actually a coach. The other 3 are not, but they are people that I actually like, especially the one down in the bottom right. Her story in the last year has been really similar to mine. So I've really gravitated toward her. And these are people that I just resonate with. I connect with them. I want to know what they're posting on a daily basis. I watch their stories because I feel a connection to them. I don't know what they're selling, or some of them I do know what they're selling. I can tell you the one in the top left is an Amazon boss. She makes so much money as an influencer by selling for Amazon. Like Amazon literally flies her to New York City from Florida and once or twice a month and has her host a live show for Amazon because she's so good at like sharing whatever she makes, whatever she buys. And then she gets some type of kickback when people click her link and buy the same thing. The girl in the top right, I found her through blogging like 15 years ago, and I am completely invested in her life. Not to mention, look at her daughter's hair. Hot, right? The one in the bottom right, I don't even know her, like how I found her. I think something popped up with like the love after divorce hashtag that I use. And she went through a yucky divorce, has 4 kids of her own, and has met this man, and he has completely swept her off her feet, and they just got engaged. And it is like such a happy story. I go to her page and read her stuff all the time because I want to know. Then the one front and center is Ashley Molstead. And I made her front and center because she is a coach. And I want you to see that in this post, she talks not a thing about being a coach. She shares this beautiful picture of a house that she just bought in the mountains as a vacation home. You know how she bought that house? With the income that she makes as a coach. Does she come out and say that? No, because she doesn't have to. People are going to start asking, right? She's sharing a glimpse into her life. All of these women are sharing a glimpse into their life. And because they do that, sometimes they make me feel a little more normal. Sometimes they make me feel like I'm not the only one who's happy and in love and living in joy, and also sometimes still crying herself to sleep at night. They make me feel like I'm not the only one. The one on the top right recently shared that she fell asleep while her kids were napping. She fell asleep as well. And when she woke up, she couldn't find her youngest child. It's a little boy. I think he's like 2. She ran out the door and literally found him down the block, around the corner, and one of her neighbors found him. And she went on stories sobbing, talking about what a horrible mother she is. And I was like, girl, that could have been me. How many times? Like, it made me feel like I'm not the only mom who falls asleep at nap time and then wakes up and realizes their kids have been eating Oreos for the last 30 minutes and you don't know how many they've eaten, or like, that's the connection I'm talking about, you guys. She could probably sell me anything now because I feel so connected to her because she's a screw up too. I'm a screw up too, right? We're all just doing the best to survive right now. the girl in the bottom, I don't know what she's selling, but when she talks about the fact, like she actually, this post I chose on purpose. It says, this has been an exceptionally difficult year for me. From the outside, I'd assume it has looked pretty magical. Don't get me wrong, it has been. What you don't see though is all the resistance Matt and I have faced together and how hard we fight for our relationship and the people we love. How hard we fight for ourselves. Grief is heartbreaking. It's sometimes unbearable and always unpredictable. It shows up at the most inconvenient of times. I've been thinking a lot about the progress I've made and have wondered what's kept me going. I'm dealing with some pretty heavy things, as I know a lot of you are. So how is it that we find room for joy? And that post goes on. This is a post meant to inspire. She's giving me a glimpse into the fact that, yes, this is a gorgeous picture. They are clearly happy and in love, and there is a lot of joy in this moment. But she also sometimes gets hit with the grief of a divorce. And that still hits me sometimes. And I need to know that it's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm not ready to be in love with someone. It doesn't mean that I don't love the person that I'm in love with. It means that this is a up and down roller coaster, and some days are better than others. And some days you mourn things that could have been, that probably couldn't have been, but you imagined would be. And that made me feel a little more normal. Like I'm not the only one experiencing this. And then you've got the one up here in the left. So she mostly shares about her fashion and her house design because she just built a house. But she's also talked a little bit here and there about the fact that she wants a baby and they've been trying and trying and trying and she hasn't had one yet. And that right there is a connection. Oh, that's a cute dress, girlfriend. You want me to buy it? That's great. Oh, you've been wanting to have a baby for like the last year and you haven't been able to? What was that dress again? You see what I'm saying? Like you have that connection with someone and you're willing, like when you feel connected to someone, you're willing to like figure out what they're buying and or drink the Kool-Aid, right? That's what we need to be doing. So I want to talk about, sorry, I can't see my whole slide, so I can't see my title of this slide. Just a little bit about like the different ways you can share, the different ways you can connect with people, and the different places. So I just recently looked at TikTok for the first time. One of my friends sent me a video, and then apparently when you open a video, it just like goes to the next video. And so I got sucked into this rabbit hole. But there's places like, to me, each of these social media platforms, and these are the 3 I use, so that's why I am sharing them. There's probably others, and if you use something, feel free to throw it up in the chat box or at the end of the call, just share it and we can talk about it a little bit. But these are the 3, and these are the vibes I'm getting from these 3 places. On TikTok, it's an opportunity for you to show your funny side. There's a lot of comedy relief. I don't know how you say the word, but there's a lot of comedy relief. And to me right now, that's where I want to spend my time because Facebook is heavy. Like I have a hard time getting on Facebook some days. Like I don't want to hear about phase 1, phase 2. I want to read the happy stories, but the bad stories, the sad stories, because I am an empath, they hit me so hard and I can carry them with me all day or all week. And it just really sets a tone for my day. So I've had to make some choices about where I'm spending my time. TikTok, you can be funny. You can dance, even if you can't dance. You can be edgy. I've noticed that on TikTok, some of the things that I have talked about, like I shared my laundry room renovation on TikTok. On Facebook, I'm like, oh, look what I did. You know, on TikTok, I'm like, number 1, get a divorce. Check. Number 2, buy a house. Check. Number 3, do whatever the hell you want to that house. Check. Because ain't nobody got an opinion but you. Like, that's me on TikTok versus me on Facebook. You know, like I'm a little more poised on Facebook. On TikTok, I feel like I can be me and not be apologetic about it. It's a lot lighter, in my opinion. Facebook is a great opportunity for you to share family fun, be a light in the darkness. This is a great opportunity to be motivating, inspiring, encouraging others. So much of Facebook right now, like I said, is heavy with the politics and the fear and the unknown. So try to show up on Facebook and be different. Try to be what you don't see enough of. Like say you've scrolled and you've seen a lot of posts about how tired people are of being in quarantine, or how like they're sick of cooking, and say, okay, everyone's sick of cooking. Here's a recipe that I tried this week and it was bomb. So let me share it on Facebook, kind of thing. Instagram, I've noticed, is a little more emotional. Like people are willing to really give you a glimpse into their hearts on Instagram. Be real, not curated. Stop trying to make your pictures look perfect. Yes, you want to take good pictures. You want them to be high quality, but they don't have to look perfect. Look at this one of She Loves to Glow. This is an Instagram picture that I pulled from a blog that I love. And she's sitting on the floor. Her son is on the toilet. She's potty training him. She's sitting on the floor reading him a book, trying to get him to poop on the potty. Okay? Not perfectly curated. Her hair's a mess. She's in her PJs. I don't even think she has a bra on. I can't see the lines. So this is what the caption says. Sometimes my husband comes home to me in regular clothes with the house clean and dinner on the table. Other times he comes home to me sitting on the bathroom floor reading Dr. Seuss with a Halloween bucket of candy to get my kid to poop. Luckily, he prefers the latter. I do too. Something is telling me I'm not the only one ever to do this. Let me know your stories below. And also, if you have a spare minute, Amazon Prime me a butt pillow. She's being funny. She's being super real. And like, it makes me realize, okay, I'm not the only one who sits on the bathroom floor trying to encourage my kid. Like, I don't even know how many times I had to try to get Carson to poop in the potty. Or, it was hard, right? Makes you feel like you're not the only one, and then asks for other people to share their stories too. So she's making me feel like I'm not alone. She's being funny and making me laugh at the situation that maybe had frustrated me at one point. And she's asking for me to connect with her and share my story and relate to her. That was a post from Instagram, a little more emotional, a lot more real, right? I probably wouldn't post something like that on Facebook. Don't ask me why. I really don't know. I just have this weird feeling on Facebook like I'm supposed to be more put together. I don't know. Then you see my post from Facebook. It's a before and after, but I don't talk about the before and after. This is what I say. I've been a size 0 and I've been a size 12. I've weighed 95 pounds and I've pushed 180. I can tell you that happy isn't defined by those numbers. I've been the queen of the ball and I've been dumped. I've been loved for the same reasons I've been hated. I can tell you that none of those things define my happy. I've been named MVP of the league and I've been cut from the team. I've been valedictorian and I've been rejected after 3 attempts at my national boards. I can tell you accolades don't make people happy. These things that happen to me or for me or against me don't define my happy, and they won't define yours. I am being a light. I am being an inspiration. I'm trying to be encouraging. I'm trying to show people that just because you think I look perfect right now, it's not always been this way. And damn, really, if you look a little bit harder, it's not that way right now. So I'm just trying to encourage them and let them know, like, you're not the only one who fluctuates up and down. You're not the only one who has struggles. You're not the only one who maybe hit their peak in high school, like, it's okay. I could have easily made this a before and after, like, before Beachbody, this is blah, 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 blah. After Beachbody, look at me. Blah, blah, blah. And that probably people would have just scrolled. Instead, because I really let them in and let them see some of my failures and some of my wins, a lot of people connected with that post. Lastly, I've got some other people sending me stuff. They didn't all get it back to me in time, so forgive me. But I did get some tips from 5-star coaches and up about how to show up as more than a coach on social media. And I thought this was really, really good from Courtney Bell. She said, be diverse in how they share. I train my team to have 4 to 5 things that they're passionate about and to share those: family, fashion, food, fun, fitness, etc. Posts should be one of the following. I think this is worth writing down. Posts should be one of the following. It should be educational, inspirational, some type of engagement like this or that, like the Rachel Baldwin one where she asks, do you tell your husband what you want for Mother's Day or do you let him surprise you? Or an invitation. So there's options there, but they should be one of each. You should not be posting just to post, okay? And then you should rotate through those daily or weekly, like on some type of scheduled basis. Not saying every Tuesday needs to be Engagement Tuesday, this or that Tuesday. I'm just saying, like, if you did an educational post yesterday, maybe today needs to be an engagement post. Maybe tomorrow should be the invitation post. And then the next day be the inspirational post. Don't let all of your posts be inspirational. Let people know they're invited, right? So wanted to share that. All right, let me, whoops. Sometimes my mouse goes missing. Does that happen to anybody else who has a Mac? Sometimes I'm like, where is that little cursor thing? And I'm doing that right now. I can't find it. There we go. Stop share. Okay. Let me see here. Celebrated a poop on the potty while on the call. Yay. I'm just looking at the chat and I'll answer it and move on. I know I took up more time than normal. It's hard to get real with yourself because you're always trying to be some other version. Okay. Rachel Hollis just did, gosh, I hope that this was not, no, it's the book I'm reading. It's the Jen Hatmaker book, the Fierce one. I can't think of the title. But you know what I'm reading, right, Carissa? Because we talked about it. That book talks exactly about that. How almost every woman tries to walk into a room and figure out what she's supposed to be in that room. And so we try to show up as what we think other people want us to be instead of showing up as our authentic selves. And that really resonated with me because that used to be me a lot more than it is now. I still struggle with it sometimes, but I would like walk in one room and I was prim, proper, God-loving Lindsay who's going to just talk this way and walk this way and not disagree with someone. And then I'd go to school and I tried to be like the cool teacher who was relating to these 7th and 8th graders and, you know, talking maybe not so much in that prim, proper way because that's not how they want to hear me talk and that kind of thing. So I think we do that. Like we walk into a room and it's like, we know that this is their belief system. So we're going to maybe not necessarily always agree with them, but toe the line. And then we're going to walk into this other room where they completely don't believe the same things. And we're also going to toe the line with them because we want to fit in with them instead of voicing our own opinion. So that, I think that's something that's just like personal development. We need to work on it as women. Like we need to be comfortable and confident in our own skin and be willing to show up as ourselves no matter where we're showing up. And sometimes that means you may look like a dork. Sometimes it means you might fall flat on your face. Sometimes it means you might be the star of the show, but you're always you in those moments. And most people are going to appreciate you for that. Most people. If they don't, they're not your people, which is easier said than done. But yes, I completely agree with you. Lately, Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis on both of their podcasts, like on the Rise Together one and then Rise, has been so good about talking about stuff like this. If you're looking for some personal development and you need something to listen to, I just listened to one of their podcasts. I hate that they go away after you listen to them because then I can't tell you the exact title. But one of the things that, one of the ones that really spoke to me was How to Hold On to the Rope. It's episode 142 on the Rise podcast. It's literally talking about how, like, on social media right now, there's kind of two camps for people to live in regards to quarantine. One is YOLO, mental health, do what you need to do to survive, like eat the cake, drink the drinks, you know, when we come out, we'll figure out how to fix all the shit we've done to ourselves. And then the other camp is let's try to come out of this a little bit stronger, a little bit healthier. Let's focus on mental health. Like if we see ourselves slipping into the alcohol hole, let's reel it back in real tight and focus and try to take that time when we would be drinking and spend it running or something. So there's like these two camps for us to sit in. And I personally have found myself thinking, oh, when I'm around these friends, one of them is very vocal about the fact that she's not going to worry about her waistline. She is going to just do the damn thing and survive however it is she's going to survive and eat all the food and bake all the goodies. And when she gets out, she'll figure it out, but she's going to complain about it and moan about it probably the entire time. And then, you know, there's me over here who's like, I'm going to buy a Peloton during quarantine and I'm going to start doing this and I'm going to follow Ultimate Portion Fix because I can't live this way anymore. So like, but I don't want to offend this friend, so I don't talk about it in front of this friend. I kind of just nod my head. I'm like, yeah, mental health. Yeah. You know? that's me, because conflict and I don't jive. But instead, what we need to do is we need to show up. And if we have a friend who feels that way, we just need to love on them and support them, but we don't have to agree with them. And it's okay not to agree with them. You can still love somebody and be friends with them without doing that. So that podcast was really, really good. If you need a podcast to listen to, after I drop the kids off on Mondays, I've been going to the park, straight to the park, putting in a podcast. And the entire time the podcast is playing, I'm just walking as fast as I can. And I've been getting in like 3 miles in a 45-minute podcast. So if that's something that you're looking to do, I would suggest that one. There was also, I've really grown to love Keisha Fitzgerald. And she recently talked to a therapist she specializes in anxiety. And it was like them doing like a Q&A. And I have really battled anxiety since separating from my ex, like in 2018. So I'm happy to say that I'm in a much better place today, but it was really good for me to like hear what other people are coping with and how they're coping, and to hear her say like, this is completely normal. And it's actually not normal. Keisha, so it's Kacia. It just really made me feel like normal even though I have anxiety, because sometimes you can feel really not normal when you're battling with that. And it also really put something into perspective. I don't remember. I think it was Rachel Hollis. I did her Rise live conference. She recently said during that conference that depression is about the past. Anxiety is about the future. And that really hit me, because I think the reason why anxiety is so big right now is because the future is unknown. We don't know when this is ending. We don't know when we're going back to work. We don't know when the kids are going back to school. We don't know when the grocery shelves are going to look normal again. We don't know the next time we can even find a freaking roll of toilet paper on the shelf, y'all. So like literally everything can give us anxiety right now. And that's what made me kind of realize my anxiety is I'm really like getting a handle on it, because my future is in my hands. Like I've gone through the hardest thing I'm ever going to go through. Or at least, let me rephrase that. I've gone through the hardest thing I've ever gone through already. Does that make sense? So like, I'm here and I'm happy and I'm joyful and life is good and I'm okay. I'm more than okay. And I needed to learn that, because when, 2 years ago, it didn't feel like it was going to be that way. So those two things were really big for me. So if that's something you are struggling with, Jenna, I just signed up for her collective group too. It's only $10 a month and it is amazing. She does 3 videos a week or a month for you, and really good. Like her with a pad of paper teaching you in the call, not just like a podcast, like what she's doing for everybody. Her podcasts are amazing too. But this is like you sit down and take notes. The last one, I just took notes on it, that I listened to was all about embracing change and navigating uncertainty. And she like walks you through these 6 stages of change that we all go through as change comes into our lives. I've got all these worksheets because the Rise conference had a workbook and I had to print it off and all this stuff here, but I'm getting stuff together to share more on that stuff too with everybody. But I'll stop talking because it's almost 10 o'clock, y'all. But I just really found myself loving this topic and thinking it would be so beneficial for all of us to remember that we're more than a coach. We're more than a mom. We're more than a coach. We're more than a wife. We're more than whatever it is, that we find ourselves identifying with constantly. We're more than that. And it's okay to be more than that. In fact, please be more than that. Don't put yourself in a box. So I love you. I can't wait to see you throughout the week in the team page. Have a great night. If I can find my mouse again.